Listen up, partners. This is Good, Bad, Ugly on World Improv Network.
Good evening, everyone. I am Alex.
My name is Asa.
I'm Jim.
And we are your astute win counselors that get you through the week with any problems that you might be facing or any daily grind issues you want addressed.
Hey, Alex, can I make a small announcement?
Yeah,
first?
what's that?
I would just like to say to any of the winners out there, if we have changed your life or saved your life with our advice, I'd love to have them write in and just let us know.
That's a great idea. All right. You heard that, winners. Anybody out there that's listening right now that posted something, gave us a question that they want us to answer for you, did we talk you off the bridge?
Or even if it wasn't your question, if our advice changed your life.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. No, that's
Even
good.
if it's for the worse?
Well,
yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, for the worst. At least we had an impact, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
just like a consumer feedback.
right.
You know, how is this advice working for you? Not so great. How can we improve?
Right. To make your life even worse. How can we improve making your life even worse if that's the case? Or how can we help you all of a sudden start to levitate because our advice made you feel so good about yourself?
Yeah, like you were enlightened.
Yeah, absolutely enlightened. Well, let us get to our first enlightened winner, hopefully, and that's Charles from Leeds, United Kingdom. And he writes, Dear Win, I just read that Burger King is going to add hot dogs, as you call them in the United States, on their menus. What do you guys think of that? Hot dogs at Burger King?
First off, I want to know what they call them in England.
Ooh, God, I used to know that. Actually, they call them...
Wieners?
No, it's not sausages. I mean, of course they call them sausages.
Bangers?
Bangers, yep, that's one.
okay.
But there is another one. I'll think of it, Charles, before the end of this.
Fingers?
Fingers, yeah, fingers.
Oh.
Like fingers.
Yeah. Finger in a bun?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
If you're Wolverine or Deadpool, you just chop them off and eat them.
Put some ketchup on those fingers.
No problem.
It's easier to get them in the bun.
Yep. Absolutely. And not as messy. So what do you guys think about that? About hot dogs coming onto the Burger King menu? Because obviously this is something that strikes home to Charles back in Leeds.
I just want to say it is about freaking time.
You're damn right. Huh?
Yeah. I love hot dogs. I love Burger King. I've always thought, are you really just the king of burgers?
Oh.
No, branch out, man.
Yeah, man.
I want to see what else you can do.
Okay. Maybe they should offer like pho at Burger King too.
Oh.
You know, maybe
They'd
that'd
have
be
to
good.
change the name.
Yeah. Like a vermicelli bowl or maybe some nice southern Vietnamese broth soup or something at Burger King.
I agree that this is long overdue, but I'm not excited about it. I feel like, hamburgers and hot dogs are classic barbecue grilling fare, but like, I don't know. Hot dogs are like...
I think it's a nitrate bomb or something, right? Just a preservative, nitrate, just what kind of stuff are you eating at Burger King hot dogs?
It's just like, to me, hot dogs are like socks. Like, period. They're just like socks made out of meat.
What?
And so like that, it doesn't like draw me towards Burger King to like go, oh, I want to check out. Because how different can you make a hot dog?
Right. So
what is Burger King bringing to the hot dog game?
Well, maybe they will.
Socks.
Maybe they're going to do something that's exactly that. Maybe they're going to enlighten it and wrap their sausages or hot dogs in socks.
Hey, you know,
biodegradable ones.
All right. Well, hey, if they're going to do that, that's pretty cool. That's different. I'll tip my hat to the king that way.
Well, Charles, I think what Burger King's doing here is clearly trying to sweep up on something that they've missed out for so long. They should have been Hot Dog King, or they should have been Dog King, they should have been Sausage King.
Finger King.
Finger King, yes. Or they should have been, what, Jim? Give me that look.
King.
The what King? Pho King. That's right. They should have been Pho King, and then they started making burgers and hot dogs afterwards, but started with pho.
That's what you did there.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for that one, Charles. I don't think we give you too much more advice or too much inspiration for that. Let's move on to our next winner, and that's Jamal from Detroit, Michigan. And he writes, Dear Win, my wife and I are really tall, respectively, and moved into a new neighborhood that has an older demographic, which is cool. But many of our neighbors keep staring at us like we're terrorists or something. Any suggestions?
I just want to say, first off, when you have to point out which is cool with that tone, it's not cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when someone tries to set you up on a date and says, oh, what does she look like? Oh, she's really nice. So you already know what she looks like.
Oh, no, I'm not racist, but...
Yeah, you're a tall freak of nature. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like space travel, but
you could be president of the United States, Hillary Clinton, and cause a black hole, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's so they're getting these looks from their older neighbors, right? You know, I'd say have like a book club like in the middle of the street.
Good idea.
You know, just like really like so that it's like publicly on like observable by your neighbors, and like setting up a friendly, welcoming
book club
situation, and then maybe your first book is how to exit peacefully or something like that.
Okay, or the Elephant Man or something.
Yeah, or the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with this, Jamal. I think what you got to do is you should actually set up a kind of a stand, but not a book stand, like a lemonade stand. But you're not actually selling lemonade. It's going to be height growing tonic, right? And have the old school kind of design on it, like from the early 1900s, where every little tonic to ail any problem or to get a
carnival barker.
Exactly.
With, and have, step right.
Yep, a little carnival barker, a little monkey with the thimbles, juggling around and stuff, and then sell them on the fact that if they drink this height tonic, they'll all be as tall as you, and then they'll all be as cool as you, and they will not have to stare at you anymore.
Yes! Woo!
I'm sorry, what was the winner's name?
Jamal.
I think the problem lies with you. I'm just going to come right out and say it. I think you are suffering from insecurity, and I would think by this point in your life you would have learned to deal with the fact that you're unusually tall and generally regarded as a circus freak by most of us. But at this point in your life, I think you just need to accept it and move on.
That's a good point. Maybe it's not even that that people are really staring at him that much anymore. It's maybe that he's got paranoia like Stalin or something, where he thinks everyone's out to get him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so he just is seeing things that aren't really there.
I would buy that.
So it's either insecurity or he's got some psychosis going on. Yeah. Oh, there you go, Jamal.
Either way, Jamal, you have problems.
All right. Well, Tina is our next winner from Orlando, Florida, and she writes, Dear Win, what did you think of Florida's 2016 Python Challenge, which had more than 600 hunters from January 16th to February 14th try to catch or exterminate as many Burmese pythons as possible in the Florida Everglades?
Yeah. Did she not include the results? How many pythons did they get?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, I'll be honest. I think this Burmese python thing is a very serious problem. And I think it was a really good idea that Florida, the government, organized it. And I personally think they should keep it going all year round. I mean, they're an invasive species. They're causing a serious environmental problem in the Everglades. And, I mean, they're really hard to find. So why are we just looking for them for 1 month out of the year?
Agreed.
Let's get out there.
And napalm the place.
24/7, 365. Let's team up with the people hunting the lionfish off of the South Carolina coast. Let's eliminate
102.
Oh, man. See, look how
in a
hard
month
that is.
they got 102. They got 600 people chasing down pythons. In 1 month they got 102. Yep. That's not going to cut it. That's going to make the guy who organized this do exactly that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this explains why Burger King's getting into hot dogs.
Makes sense.
This is where the meat's coming from.
That's it. That's it. That's the exotic addition to the hot dog game that Burger King is offering.
They're
python meat.
Yeah, they're killing like the socks of animals. You know what I mean? Like
skin of the snake.
Yeah.
Then wrapping meat in it, and then it's the Burmese python dog. All right. Well, I think Jim is onto something here. We should maybe get a little more aggressive, and therefore I would take it a step further. Re-enlist the old B-52s, carpet bomb, napalm, the whole Everglades. There'll be no pythons left.
Oh, thanks, Donald Trump. That's a wonderful decision.
Yeah, that's not extremist at all. It's actually it's a modest proposal, isn't it?
That is. Nowadays, that's very modest.
I think we should build a 10 to 20 foot wall around the Everglades and make the pythons pay for it.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to build another 50-foot wall around that one so nobody has to look at that monstrosity.
That's right.
And I will gladly pay for that.
That's a great idea. Because if you think about it, Jimbo and Ace, that if you put a 50-foot wall around the Everglades, you won't even see the fact that the Everglades are getting decimated by pythons. Yep. And the pythons won't even know, where they're at. They'll just kind of be like in a big, almost like a terrarium or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a great idea.
And that also makes it easier to carpet bomb them should we need to resort to that solution later in time.
Yeah, exactly, because you're not using the Everglades anymore if there's a 50-foot wall around it, so you might as well just carpet bomb it. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. I don't know. Let's see. I don't think we got enough time to get to our next winner because this one deserves a little bit of justice. So, Tina, at the end of the day, whoever brought the python over to the Everglades for the first time, was probably a pet collector, someone that wanted a snake, realized it was more maintenance than they wanted to put into it, threw the thing out in the Everglades, a couple of them, and all of a sudden, before you knew it, they bred like crazy because they had no natural predators, and they were just mowing everything down without a problem. That's it. At the end of the day, we got one more little piece of advice to get you through the rest of the week, and that's Horoscope Corner.
Love, fortune, status. Let us do your astrological chart. Horoscope Corner on World Improv Network.
Hey, Aquarius. Are you sad that you're only one single Aquarius? Well, you can be several Aquariuses. If you go to the World Improv Network on Facebook, we got a group there. Like us there. Check us out on Twitter at World Improv Net. You can send us suggestions that we can use during the show. Check us out on YouTube, World Improv Network channel. Like our videos, subscribe. You can also check us out. Check out our podcast on iTunes. It's the World Improv Network. Download, subscribe, leave some reviews, leave some stars, and you can always check us out every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Mile High Sports Radio.
Thanks for listening to Win on Mile High Sports Radio. Don't forget to be a winner and interact with the cast by sending your suggestions or questions for each show segment throughout the week by hitting them up on Facebook at World Improv Network, on Twitter at World Improv Net, or by calling into the Mile High Sports Radio studio line on Sundays before or during the show. See you next week.